The moniker for the Mediterranean Sea is the cradle of civilization. The Mediterranean lives up to its name, as do other ancient, stunning towns that are steeped in history. You can travel to a lot of great ports because the Mediterranean Sea is so large. One of the world's most well-liked cruise itineraries is a Mediterranean cruise. This region of the world is ideal for a cruise because of its rich history, gorgeous architecture, and tranquil scenery. Although cruises are available year-round, summer is the ideal time to travel the Mediterranean because of the mild weather. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the one-stop location on traveling and island life. Let's dive in. One of the most appealing places in the world, the Mediterranean Sea is home to magnificent beaches, pristine waterways, and a vibrant history and culture. We'll take you on a fictitious Mediterranean cruise in this movie, presenting some of the most stunning places you can go on your subsequent Mediterranean holiday. The Mediterranean region is home to some of the most beautiful places on Earth, from the quaint alleyways of Venice to the whitewashed buildings of Santorini. Through this video you take a look into the possible places of vacation through the Mediterranean, showcasing some of the most opulent cruise ships, magnificent ports of call, and stunning on-board facilities. We've assembled the finest spots to cruise through when sailing the Mediterranean if you're seeking for the greatest Mediterranean cruise ports for your future vacation. Barcelona, Spain's capital, Barcelona, has a long history that goes back thousands of years, and its harbor serves as the entrance to everything the city has to offer. The port, which is divided into three sections at Adas Terminals, World Trade Center Terminals, and Port Vell, is situated directly south of the city's Old Town neighborhood. Your method of entering the city will depend on where your ship docks. Most likely, you'll need to board the cruise bus, which operates to and from the Christopher Columbus Monument. Each terminal has a pickup location. The monument is located on Las Ramblas, the most well-known thoroughfare in Barcelona. You'll be close to popular sites like the La Boqueria Market, the Liceu Opera House, the Erotica Museum, and more. Watch out for additional spectacular street acts along the path, as well as the well-known human statues. So, there are plenty of easily accessible things to select from whether you have a few hours or a few days to spend near Barcelona's harbor. Civitavecchia, Rome. The port of Civitavecchia is located on Italy's stunning western coast. While being known as the Port of Rome, it is really located roughly 50 miles away from the ancient city. The town of Civitavecchia is aware that the majority of visitors arriving from the port are trying to reach Rome as soon as possible. Therefore, you'll have a few easy options to do so. Most cruise ships will have a bus service, so you can board a train, hail a cab, or rent a car in approximately an hour and be standing in front of the Colosseum. Civitavecchia is a great spot to explore if you've already been to Rome or simply don't want to go there. The community has existed since the 2nd century. Get up close and personal with historical artifacts and works of art from the area by visiting the National Archaeological Museum. Also, it's free. Also, there is a delightful promenade for strolling, lovely cafes for sipping coffee, and intriguing stores to browse. Athens is a cultural hub where visitors may get a taste of ancient Greek culture, and because of its location on the seaside, it is a popular port for Mediterranean cruises. The port of Piraeus has consequently grown to be one of the busiest and largest ports in all of Europe, while being only 7 miles from Athens. Piraeus was founded in the 5th century BC and has a troubled history. To discover more about the town's lengthy and rich history, explore its landmarks, churches, and museums today. It takes roughly 20 minutes by cab or metro to get to Athens from the dock. With a dependable public transit system, you should have ample time in the city for one day to view the main sites. If you want to make your life as simple as possible, enroll in a guided tour or purchase a ticket for the hop-on hop-off bus that travels through Piraeus and Athens. Malta. It doesn't get much better than Malta when it comes to cruise locations that are picture perfect. Your cruise ship will berth at the port of Valletta, a naturally deep water harbor, which is located just off the southernmost tip of Italy. As soon as you land, you will be on the Valletta waterfront, where a number of clothes and specialty stores are eagerly awaiting your visit. Malta is a small island, so everything is accessible, yet it is home to some magnificent historical and natural landmarks. The nation's former capital from the 1500s, Dina, should be visited by history buffs. Or, if you want to relax, spend the day at the beach swimming in the dazzlingly blue water. The best beaches include Blue Lagoon, Golden Bay, and St. Peter's Pool. Marseille. It's a treat to travel to Marseille. Every year, the city's port welcomes about 2 million travelers. The Provence Cruise Center is most likely where your ship will dock when you enter Marseille Fos Port. The distance to the city center from there is around 5 miles. Go down to the port's free shuttle service, which departs every 20 minutes, if you want to save some money on transportation into town. Consider for a moment, though, that Marseille's old port has been used for commercial business for more than 2,000 years before you proceed to the city. There are plenty of enjoyable activities in Marseille to keep you busy. See the Basilica from the 19th century, Notre Dame de la Garde. For a breathtaking view of the area, ascend to the tower's summit. There's no need to rush since it takes roughly 10 minutes to get there from the pier. Dubrovnik. The harbor of Dubrovnik is situated in Gru, a neighborhood of the city. It will take around 1.5 miles to get to the city center, and if it's nice out, strolling there is a great way to take in the scenery. But if you're pressed for time, your best bet is to take the bus or a taxi. The little city is renowned for its immaculately preserved coastal fortifications and walls. Take a journey up the cable car for a breathtaking perspective of Dubrovnik in all its splendor. The sights will leave you breathless. A journey around Old Town, where you can visit churches, monasteries, and monuments, is also unavoidable. Naples. Just south of the city is the Port of Naples, sometimes known as Porto Napoli by the locals. You'll locate the pedestrian walkway that will take you directly into the city center as soon as you exit the ship and leave the cruise terminal. No need for a bus, train, or cab. It won't take you long to discover why Naples is the current tourist magnet after the about 10-minute walk. Explore the breathtaking surroundings, visit museums, or chow down on real Italian cuisine. Since Pompeii is only 15 miles from the port, many visitors want to fit in a vacation there. To guarantee that you return to the ship on time, think about enrolling in a tour. Instead, you can take a taxi or an alibus to Central Station before transferring to a train for the remaining distance. Santorini. Athenios Port and the Old Port are Santorini's two ports because it is such a well-known tourist attraction. Because the ports are too small for cruise ships to dock, passengers will be transported to the shore by tenders. Those guests who signed up for special tours beginning in Athenios may be dropped off at both ports by your ship, but everyone else will probably be directed to the Old Port. The transfer procedure may require a little patience if you're traveling during the busiest time of year, but don't worry, you'll get there. A must-do activity on land is to visit Toya Village. The village is made up of gorgeously white structures that look out towards the water. It's a great location for watching the sunset while sipping on a glass of wine. Be ready for a memorable experience because there are plenty of fine dining establishments and picturesque beaches to explore. Kotor, one of the most stunning locations in the Mediterranean, is the port of Kotor in Montenegro. Ensure that you are outside when your ship approaches the port because it is situated at the far end of the Bay of Kotor, which is encircled by stunning mountains. Around the 5th century BC, more than 2,000 years ago, Kotor was founded. Up until its liberation in 1918, the town was governed by the Illyrians, Romans, Byzantines, Hungarians, and Austrians. The city has a distinct identity that is unlike any other destination in the Mediterranean because of its event-filled past. Don't skip visiting Kotor Old Town when you get there. It was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. The neighborhood has been inhabited by a variety of cultures, which are all represented in the cobblestone streets. Lisbon. In 2017, the Port of Lisbon launched its new cruise terminal. There won't be any issues with cruise ships docking at the port, so you won't have to wait for a tender to take you to shore. All the conveniences, gift shops, and tourist services you might want are available at the port. You can choose to go downtown on foot for 15 minutes instead of using public transit. The greatest place to witness all the city's activity in Lisbon, which is famed for its intriguing culture, is at the Feira da Ladra flea market. It's about a 10-minute walk from the port and is interesting to see even if you have no intention of making a purchase. That wraps up our destinations. Thank you for watching. Follow for more.